So hey everyone, this is Alan Bonde from the Pulse Network at Blade Insight Summit 2011 with good friend Eric Lundquist. How are you, Eric?
I'm doing great. It's been a very active couple of weeks for me traveling all around, but happy to be back here at the Harvard Club in Boston. I can pronounce it.
It makes you smarter just being in this room. So tell me what you've been thinking about. What are you hearing? What's the vibe of this event? We're hearing a lot about green IT. We're hearing about cloud. How do we make sense of all this?
Well, I think that the thing that's interesting to me is these were sort of individual items at one point. You had green IT, and then you had cloud, and then you had mobile. But now it's really become sort of one comprehensive discussion where all those pieces have come together, which I think makes a lot of sense, and it's the way it should be. You can't really drive a corporate initiative because it's green. That was like a good feeling type thing, but...
Well, it's not easy being green, right?
It's not easy being green. And you couldn't drive a cloud just because it was like a cool thing to talk about. But when you start to put it all together, it really becomes a new way of thinking about technology and information infrastructure. So I'm impressed, and I'm optimistic. I'm an optimistic guy anyway.
You're optimistic.
But I see a lot of investment moving from the gee, should we do it stage to the yeah, we have to do it stage. And CIOs getting behind it. So this, I think 2012 is going to be a very technology-intensive era in the business world.
So 2012 will be the year of fill in blank.
It'll be the year of doing it rather than reading about it or just talking about it. I really think you're going to see, we had a panel on cloud, and that's been one of these things that sort of, it's been kicking around for a while, but companies really are moving away from just sort of thinking about it and into saying, okay, what are the services that we need to develop within our company to create a new business environment? They're not calling it a cloud environment. They're saying, let's add these services. And it could be, mobile or location-based services will really give us a leg up on the competition, a strategic differentiator. And we really have to do it this year. We can't spend another year of PowerPoints.
So you think there'll be budgets this year? How do budgets look overall in terms of IT spending from what you're seeing?
The IT budgets don't change a whole lot, tell you the truth. They go up 2 or 3%. What's different, and I think that's part of the promise of virtualization and cloud computing is, you and I have been doing this a long time, and it was always sort of, 80% of my budget goes to just keeping the lights on, and about another 15% goes to making my boss happy.
All the interesting stuff is in the margins.
So I get like 5% of the budget to actually do the new stuff. The promise of virtualization, promise of cloud computing, the promise of bringing in new services, it starts to give you access to that 80%. And I've definitely heard that time and time again. Look, Eric, we're not going to, the budget's not going to go up. We're not crazy. We know it's not going to go up by, 20%. But we know that we have what we have. That if we start to save money out of this one piece, that we'll be able to spend it internally. So a real reallocation of how you're spending the money and how you're thinking about spending
What's the idea of taking the 20%, taking that maybe leading edge work to spend the other 80% more smartly?
Well, wouldn't that be great, that if you could sort of flip the 80-20 and you're saying, okay, the addition of cloud services, virtualization, putting a management piece over this allows us to now manage our infrastructure for 20% of the budget. Suddenly, I've got all these dollars to spend. And where they're spending them, by the way, is they want to spend them on new mobile applications. They want to add social network, bring in the social networking piece into the applications. They're finding that they don't really have the skill set in the company to do this. So there's a big...
Does that mean hiring?
Well, yeah, but hiring, trying to find people who know how to build these applications is a real mission they're pursuing right now, and it's a real opportunity for students, for vets. People always say, well, where are the jobs? There's more jobs there than they know how to fill. The skill set's not there, so I guess we're not doing the job fair. But if thinking about how to go into a company and say, look, I know how to flip this 80-20, and I can get you those applications that you didn't have before that are going to differentiate you from the competition. You got to hire someone who has that story.
So he's Eric Lundquist with a rather optimistic outlook for 2012.
Yep.
I'm Alan Bonde, coming from the Blade Insight Summit 2011.